We begin tonight with an important topic here in the East and nationwide: suicides in the military.
More than 500 active duty and reserve members took their own life in 2018. That's according to the Department of Defense. Specialists at Camp Lejeune have continuously worked to prevent the number from rising. Now
on your sides, Camila Barco is live on base with how their services are combating this problem. Camila.
Those services include group counseling, resiliency workshops, and clinical experts who help Marines deal with losing a service member to suicide. Open conversations are a way to get ahead of the distress before it's too late. Vibrant, happy, enthusiastic, Crystal Dunaway made life look cheerful. But behind closed doors, life was much darker.
The life of the party can be the one that's going through the most in the room.
At 16, she took 2 bottles full of pills. Then, her friend Derek called.
He wouldn't hang up the phone, and I heard his mom in the background saying, "We gotta go, Derek." And he was like, "No, she's about to hurt herself," and they came right over.
Even with a second chance, suicide still clouded Dunaway's mind. After high school, it was the Marine Corps. 5 years of service, including time at Camp Lejeune. In 2010, after the Corps, the shadow of suicide returned.
I've had my ugly moments in regards to some experiences in my past and in my Marine Corps career that really pushed me to a point that I never thought I would even experience.
Dunaway knows others never emerged from that shadow. According to the Pentagon, in 2018, 325 active service members killed themselves. 58 were Marines. And in the first 3 months of 2019, 14 Marines took their own lives.
We all struggle with family, work, finances, everything like that, but being in the military, it does add a little extra pressure and demand.
Corinne Smith is a specialist teaching Marines to spot risk factors in others and in themselves. One way, build a warrior within. A day each year for mental health professionals to work with Marines.
By the time they leave the event, they have a lot of coping skills and strategies at their hands that they can use when experiencing stress.
Commanders can get involved, bringing in specialists to address suicide risk factors.
Command has done a really good job at really encouraging their leadership to have open dialogues, frank conversations about the normal everyday things that happen to us.
But suicide comes with a stigma. Some perceive those who need help as weak.
So it can be a little hard. You don't know if you're going to be judged, talked about, or helped.
Counselors want to teach everyone, even Marines, it's okay to ask for help.
By creating that open dialogue, and through that, we normalize the seeking of help and assistance.
Withdrawing from social relationships can sound the alarm to mental wellness, but red flags aren't always apparent.
It's not so much looking for red flags as much as it is being willing to ask someone if they're okay.
It's a simple question, possibly preventing a tragedy.
They come here and we help them discover how they can create their own answers. And suicide is, that's not one we want them to make.
Dunaway lives to tell her story for her daughter and family.
So I could only think about the people that I was leaving behind. I didn't want my mom confused. I didn't want my daughter not knowing who I was.
She leads an annual Silkies hike to improve mental health among veterans and active duty members. Spreading a message, suicide is not a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Oh Lord, it's a blessing when you see that you aren't alone and that somebody was in your exact shoes. When you have somebody who can tell you their story and it sounds like yours verbatim, it compels you not to give up.
And it's never an easy subject to talk about, but someone is always available to hear you out at the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Aboard Camp Lejeune, Camila Barco, 9 on your side.